taking your calls today and your medical questions for Dr. Zorba Pastor.
If you have a question, the number to call 270-9933. Dr. Zorba joins us from his clinic in Oregon. Zorba, how are you?
Good, guys. Very good, thanks.
Good to see you.
We're talking about colorectal cancer today.
Right. So this is an article that was just published in the British Medical Journal that looked at screening for colorectal cancer. Now, as you know, we recommend in the U.S. screening once every 10 years with a colonoscopy if you're at normal risk, or to do the exact science test, which is available, and you have to do that once every 3 to 5 years, sort of depending on where the data is, or a stool for occult blood every single year. So those are the things that we generally recommend. But this particular study throws all of that into a consideration where they looked over a 15-year period. They analyzed multiple studies and wondered whether or not we should be doing colorectal screening on everyone. So the study is going to throw everything up into the air on what we're going to recommend in the future. I looked over the study. I found the information very interesting. And basically it says if you have risk factors for colorectal cancer, smoke cigarettes, not a great diet, certainly with a family history, you need to have colorectal screening. But they're recommending that it may only be one screening test and then you don't have to do it for the rest of your life. Totally different from what the U.S. now recommends. So I mention this because people are going to see this in the news going forward over the next week. It's going to be a lot of controversy, and I think over the next year or two we may see some new recommendations for colon cancer screening. You may not have to get it once every 10 years if you have 1 or 2 negative colon cancer tests, and that's one of the things that we're going to note. I want to mention this because for pap smears, for example, we used to screen every year, and for many women now it's every 5 years, with the screening stopping at age 65. It may turn out with colon cancer you may not need to have colon cancer screening every 10 years. It may be 1 and done or 2 and done, and that may be the future.
All right, but not yet. The recommendation hasn't changed yet.
Not yet. Not yet at all. This is going to just flurry the water. People are going to think a lot about this before those recommendations are changed.
All right.
Or altered,
if
at all.
All right, let's go to the phones. We'll start with Linda in Janesville. Hi, Linda.
Oh, hello.
Hi, which question?
Well, about arthritic feet, I've had a lot of problems decades ago, even with heel spurs and plantar fasciitis, but now there's lumps on my feet, and the doctor had said it's arthritis, and I don't know if I should even bother going back again to the doctor to find out what else to do.
Oh, sure. Are you on any anti-inflammatories at all?
No, well, I take an aspirin.
No, but often, how old are you?
I'm in my 60s.
You're in your 60s. So if your lab tests are good, anti-inflammatories can really help with arthritis. 2 Aleve tablets twice a day are one of the things I recommend over the counter without a prescription. That's double the dose on the bottle, but it does a lot for arthritis. When it comes to plantar fasciitis, never walking barefoot or just in socks in your house. Make sure you get into something that's got a little bit of cushioning in it, either a Croc sandal or another type of a sandal that's got some cushioning, or a good shoe that's got a good arch. Those are things you can often do for foot arthritis that can really make a difference. And if that fails, 2 arthritis strength Tylenol every 8 hours can also bring you a lot of relief.
All right, very good.
Hold on, let's go to Tom in Janesville. Hi, Tom.
Hi.
What's your question?
Yes, I had diverticulitis when I was about 21 years old, and I did not have the surgery at that time due to insurance. And my dad's father had colon cancer, and I just want to know the procedure. I mean, should I have it done?
Sure.
The surgery quick?
Well, first of all, for diverticulitis, we don't do surgery unless it's an emergency procedure or unless there's a tightening of the colon such that you have to have surgery. We usually just treat it with antibiotics, and that will usually get it better. Some people have recurrence, some people do not, but surgery is sort of the last thing we do. Now, as for colon cancer, if your immediate relative, your first-degree relative, mom or dad, had colon cancer, then you need to have a colonoscopy every 5 years, because you're at risk. But colon cancer is not linked to diverticulitis at all. So there's no linkage at all. If you have diverticulitis, that means it's an inflammation of the colon, but it does not lead to colon cancer.
All right, very good. Let's go to Tom in Deerfield. Hi, Tom. What's your question?
We know that smoking cigarettes is not good for you. Is the same true
Right.
of smoking marijuana?
Well, that's a good question. I get that question more often than you would think, or as often as you would think. You know, smoking cigarettes, think about it. It's 20 cigarettes a day, and maybe you're doing 20 puffs per cigarette, so that's about 400 puffs a day. If you're getting stoned on dope, you may do 1 puff a day. So obviously, you're smoking much, much less. But whether or not you're actually doing harm to your lungs has not really been answered because we don't have any good data on it. So how much harm you may be doing, we don't know. The question I have now is people go out to Colorado and they bring back vaping pens, and are the vaping pens more harmful than the natural marijuana joints? And my thought is I don't think you should be on any vaping pen until we figure out what's going on with vaping. It's a different product. It means a different thing. So I think if you're going to get stoned, you should use regular marijuana, but whether or not it causes lung cancer or COPD has not been really answered yet because the data is not there.
All right, let's go to Melanie in Madison. Hi, Melanie.
Oh, hi there.
Hi, what's your question?
Yes, I'm in my early 70s, and I have really dry eyes. And it sounds silly, but I'm on Restasis. I started up again a week ago at the doctor's.
For your eyes. For your eyes.
Tried it before, yes. I do the night thing. What is it? It's some kind of gloop that you put on your eyes. Lubricant ointment.
Sure.
And I have to put, just off-the-counter lubricating eye drops in my eye.
Sure.
Like all the time. And they hurt. My eyes still hurt.
Okay, what can she do, Zorba? Quickly?
Well,
We're out of time.
a very quick thing. You've got to put a warm, moist compress on your eye 3 to 4 times a day in order to get those tear ducts to work. And if you're not doing that, add that into the regime, especially with the moisturizing eye drops. Warm, moist compress, 1 minute on your eye. It will make the difference.
All right. Zorba, thank you. Thank you, everyone,
Thanks,
for calling
Zorba.
in. And we'll see you next time.
My pleasure.
Got a final
Take care.
check of your forecast coming up.